What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. We got to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers because this team should have fallen apart and has been the best team in basketball for the last month of the season. And it's been really impressive because they're playing without two of their best three players, to be completely honest with you. And they're still dominating right now. They're 14-4 in the last 18 games without Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. And it's just impressive. What do you think of the Cleveland Cavaliers roster, their chances this season, and how things have kind of played out? Because I've just been so impressed with how they've managed to stick together in this time where you're missing some of your best players and be dominant throughout the stretch, right? Let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But we got to start off with Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen because they have been incredible. Basically, since December 16th in that 18-game stretch, you're looking at a team that's 14-4, and Donovan Mitchell basically has been an all-star snub. Starter snub, I should say. I thought he should have got in over Dame personally, but his whole stretch, he's been awesome. 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists in this 18-game stretch. And that's like, that's Donovan Mitchell for you. That's what he does. He steps up. Jared Allen has been the one that really elevated his game in this time that I really think over the last 18 games. 18 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists with elite level rim protection. We know he brings it. Jared Allen is a guy that typically averages like 13 or 14 points a game and 10 rebounds, and he's managed to jump up 4 or 5 points a game, jumping up there 3-4 rebounds a game. Like, he's had just juggernaut games throughout this stretch, and that's what you needed. You needed somebody other than Donovan that was going to step up and take the initiative, take the lead on this team to fill those gaps. Because when you're losing an all-star level player in Darius Garland in a promising, dynamo in Evan Mobley, that's a lot. That's a lot of defense and offense that those guys bring to the table. Rim protection, creation on offense, like that's all gone without them on the floor. And Donovan and Jared Allen have particularly just shouldered the whole load. And while those two have been the two best players on the team throughout the stretch, there's been several role players that have stepped up and been awesome for them. Sam Merrill. Most people probably don't even know the name, but he really hadn't played at all in his first 3 years, and then now he finally gets an opportunity just because of the rotation and injuries and everything. And he's shooting like 45+% from three, and he's not taking 2 threes a game. He's taking 8, 9, 10, 11 threes a game. And what is his averages right now in the last 18 games? 12 points and 3 assists, but the 45% from three. Just had a game against the Bucks, I think 3 games ago, where I want to say he had like 26 points and hit like 8 threes or something. And you get that off the bench, you get that anywhere on your team. That is so valuable, especially when it's on a guy that's on the very cheap for his contract, and nobody saw it coming. I will say, I did not see it coming. If you did, we need to get the lottery numbers from you, because he really to this point, hadn't done much in his career, and then now he looks like a really quality NBA player and providing a ton of value. Max Strus, kind of in a similar kind of thing where he shoots a lot of threes, spaces the floor. He's had a couple 20-point games in this stretch. Kind of steps up, gives you that spacing, allows Donovan to operate, gives Jared Allen more space to operate. He's been pretty good. People kind of gave them flack for the contract in the offseason, and he's been solid. He's been solid in these last 18. Karis LeVert, another one, because when you lose Darius Garland, you lose all that creation, the ball handling. Somebody has to step up and kind of take a lot of that slack, and it was Karis. Karis, 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists in the 18-game stretch without these guys. And that's been super vital because it's basically plug and play with him. And you just need to keep the consistency up. He keeps the consistency, then you have a really, really competent and awesome backcourt, to be completely honest. Georges Niang, he's been solid. I feel like Philly kind of misses him a little bit, but they're kind of rocking and rolling anyway. I feel like, though, he's been really good in what he's been asked to do. You have some guys in Strus and Merrill and Niang that provide all this spacing that's going to allow guys like Donovan to do what they need to do, to go where they want to go. Like I said earlier, it's going to keep Jared Allen free roaming the paint. So now you have all this space on the floor, and the team defends, which this is a major nod to Coach J.B. Bickerstaff, because a lot of people didn't and probably still don't think that he's like the coach of the future for them. But he's been really, really good in the stretch without those guys. He's one of those coaches that I feel like does more with less a lot. But, let's give him his flowers, because he's been pretty good, and he's putting these guys in situations to succeed. Defensively, they're top 3. And outside of Jared Allen, it's not like they got dudes that are perennial all NBA defensive players. Like, they're not looked at in that. Like, Donovan Mitchell's not looked at as like a super defender. Karis LeVert, not looked at that way. Sam Merrill, George Niang, like, those guys aren't looked at as stoppers. And they're a top 3 defense. So, I mean, anything could happen with this team, honestly. Like, they're gonna bring a team in the playoffs a lot of problems. Because when you play awesome defense, and then you're getting this firepower back, I think Mobley and Garland are both due back in the next week or 2, so they're right around the corner. And obviously there'll be a little bit of a process in merging them back into the lineup. Obviously there can be minutes restrictions, things like that, particularly for Mobley. But ultimately, by the time the All-Star break is rolling around, the team should be pretty much ingrained in building towards the playoffs, so long as they stay healthy. But building towards the playoffs, they got a solid 8-man rotation, right? You have a superstar in Donovan Mitchell. Jared Allen has been awesome. Darius Garland coming back. We know what he can do. Evan Mobley, still so much more that we can see from him, and he's been great in moments. So you have that, right? You have a top 4 that, if everything meshes well, could be really, really dynamic in the playoffs. Max Strus, Karis LeVert, Sam Merrill, George Niang. That's a solid 8-man rotation, and you still have guys like Okoro, Dean Wade, like dudes like that can fill in the 9 and 10 spots. They got a good quality team, and I feel like you don't want to really see them in the first round because the way they play defense, the way they shoot the ball, it's a lot to try and handle. And when you have a superstar like Donovan Mitchell, he can win you a game or 2 in the playoffs. That's how that can happen. Darius Garland can win you a game. Like, they have kind of the makings of being that team that spoils a lot of team seasons. So are you impressed with the Cleveland Cavaliers this season? I'm really just blown away because I thought, this was after what happened in the playoffs last year, because I was high on them last year. And then they kind of flamed out in the playoffs. And obviously you have the Donovan Mitchell future concerns, whatever. But they just really held it together. And to be the best team in basketball in the last month and a half that's nothing to slouch at. That's a 6-week sample. It's an 18-game sample size without 2 of your 3 best players. And you've been the best team in basketball. It's, anything can happen in the playoffs. And I feel like this team is going to be the one you don't really want to run into. But let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. What's your kind of interpretation of the Cavaliers this season? Do you think Donovan Mitchell was an all-star starter snub? Because I truly do. I love Dame, but I thought Donovan was better this year. And given the context of what these guys have dealt with, I thought Donovan was a lock. But I guess I was wrong. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Please like the video, but watch out for the Cavs. This team has been playing fire basketball, and they're going to be a problem. They could be a real problem for anyone in the playoffs. Thanks for watching. Peace.